Hey everyone, this is your video lesson on data and statistics except for mean absolute deviation. This unit is broken into the following parts: measures of central tendency, dot plots, histograms, box and whisker plots, and MAD, mean absolute deviation. Let's talk about measures of central tendency. Measures of central tendency are all about averages. It's really about the three kinds of averages that you can find in a data set. One of those is called mean, one is called median, and one is called mode. Mean is an arithmetic average. That means that you have to use the operations of addition and division to get it. Median is finding the middle number. There's no operations required. All you need to do is to be able to list numbers from least to greatest. Mode is just identifying which number in a data set happens the most often. To calculate the mean, again, you add up all the numbers together in the data set and then divide by how many numbers you have. Look at this example. In this data set, there are the numbers of 81, 87, 92. When I added up all of these numbers together, I got 792. And then when I divided by how many numbers there were, which in this instance were 9, my mean was 88. I didn't have to round that particular answer. Usually, though, you would round to the tenths or to the nearest whole number. Usually the questions that you're given will ask you to round it to a specific place value. The median is when you place the data in order from least to greatest. I like to use stem and leaf plots to do this. Here's the previous data set, and I crossed out my numbers until I reached the median of 87. Here's an example of a dot plot. Dot plots are graphs that show frequencies of data points. They look similar to bar graphs and are clear to understand. Looking at this example, these are instances of scores: 23, 26, 39, 72, 86, 87, 89, and 92. In this instance, we have a mode, which is 89. To calculate how many data points we have, we need to count how many of the frequencies we had. With 23 we had 1, with 26 we had 1, but 39 had 2, 72 had 3, and so on and so on. Let's talk about histograms. Histograms are a specific graph that shows groups of data. They are very similar to bar graphs. They kind of look like a bar graph. Here's a bigger data set that's being recorded. Now, we're going to organize it by groups of 10, 40 to 49, 50 through 59, all the way to 100 to 109. And what I'm doing is I'm writing down the numbers showing how many points fall in between these ranges. In this instance, I have one score that fell between 40 to 49, but I have 9 scores that fell between 70 to 79 and 90 to 99. So to organize this, I'm going to draw my axes, X and Y. I'm labeling my data sets along the X-axis and the frequencies along the Y. These graphs then show you how many points I had in those ranges. Now let's talk about box and whisker plots. Box and whisker plots are graphs that show data grouped by quartiles or by groups of 4. Let's go back to our histogram data. I'm organizing this in a stem and leaf plot because, again, I think this is an easier way to calculate it. Now I'm going to find the median, which I find to be 79. The first quartile is the median of the first half of numbers. In this instance, it fell between 71 and 69, which is the middle number of 70. The third quartile is the median of the second half. When I did that, I got 91 and 91, which is, of course, 91. So remember, the median was 79, the first quartile was 70, the third quartile was 91, and my range went from 49 through 101. To create this, first I'm going to draw a number line, usually around the range, a little bit bigger than the range of my data. I'm starting here with 50 and ending at 100. The median was placed here. The first quartile was placed there. The third quartile was placed here. Then I connect them and make a rectangle. My lowest data set was over here, and my largest number was here. This shows my data grouped in my quartiles. This means that for this particular, let's say it's an assignment, 1/4 of a class fell in this range. The second fourth was here, the third fourth was here, and my last group was there. It also shows that my middle 50% fell in this section. This is useful data because this can also tell me that 3/4 of my class fell all the way over here. This is a good indicator for an example to show how well a group of kids understand something. Mean absolute deviation, like I said, will be on the next video. Make sure you ask questions in class.